Hello? Mic test. Can you hear me loud and clear? CPT, are you there? Are you with me? I'm telling you. Can you hear me loud and clear? I'm here again. This is David speaking. How many times have I told you? I'm here because I want to improve my English skills. And I think you are still my great conversation partner. Today is March 16th, Monday. Luckily, I had great weekends with my family. It was very meaningful time to me because I went to my wife's hometown and we had a very good dinner together. I think it was very good. We get back to our home uh, late yesterday. So I'm just a little bit tired, but it's okay. That's not a big deal. DVD, can you keep up with me? Are you set to go?
Hello, David? Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm here with you, and I'm ready. And first, let me say, your opening sounded very natural, like you were starting another morning speaking session. That's excellent practice. I'll just adjust two small phrases, but overall, your message was already clear. You said, open quote, that's another big deal. Close quote. In English, we usually say the opposite meaning here. I think you meant, that's not a big deal, or it's not a big deal. You also said, open quote, can you keep up with me? Close quote. That's correct English, but in this situation, a more natural phrase would be, can you follow me? Or are you following me? Both are very common in conversation. So your introduction could sound like this. Hello, microphone test. Microphone test. Can you hear me loud and clear? GPT, are you there? This is David speaking. As I've told you many times, I'm here because I want to improve my English and you're still my great conversation partner. Today is Monday, March 16th. Luckily, I had a great weekend with my family. It was very meaningful because I visited my wife's hometown and we had a nice dinner together. We got home late yesterday, so I'm a little tired today, but it's not a big deal. That sounds very natural, David. I'm curious about something from your weekend. You said you went to your wife's hometown and had a good dinner. What kind of dinner was it? For example, traditional Korean food, barbecue, seafood, home cooked family meal. Tell me about the dinner.
GPT, have you ever heard of 우럭회? 우럭. Urok is a kind of fish, and when we eat as a 회, 회 in Korean, I mean sushi in Japanese, urok is really important whenever we taste it as a 회. It's one of my favorite food. Uh, it's one of my favorite meat. It's one of my favorite kind of fishy food, and I have something to tell you. Listen to me very carefully. My brother-in-law, I mean my wife's younger brother, prepared a medicine uh, for a alcohol. I mean pre-alcohol, preventive preventive medicine of too much alcohol. I'm not sure how can I express this context in English necessarily. We drunk a lot, but I'm okay because my brother-in-law prepared the medicine that helped our the after condition after too much alcohol.
David, I'm following you clearly. Your story about the weekend is interesting, and I understand what you mean. Let me help you express it a little more naturally, but I'll keep your meaning. First, about the fish. I think the fish you mean is uro. In English, we usually call it rockfish, or some Korean rockfish. And ho in Korean is usually explained in English as Korean style raw fish. Sushi is Japanese and usually includes rice. So when Koreans explain hue in English, we often say raw fish or sliced raw fish. So you could say, uro rockfish is one of my favorite fish to eat as raw fish. Now, about the medicine your brother in law prepared. I understand exactly what you mean. In English, we usually say hangover medicine or hangover remedy. This means medicine that helps after drinking too much alcohol. Let me show you a natural version of your story. You could say it like this. Over the weekend, we had euro, which is a kind of rockfish. In Korea, we often eat it as raw fish, and it's one of my favorite foods. My brother in law prepared a lot of food, and we also drank quite a lot of alcohol. But he also prepared some hangover medicine, so I'm actually okay today, even though we drank a lot. That sounds very natural. A few small vocabulary points from your sentences. Instead of saying, open quote, my favorite meat, close quote, it's better to say, one of my favorite fish, instead of, open quote, fishy food, close quote, say seafood. So a very smooth sentence could be, rockfish is one of my favorite seafood dishes when it's served as raw fish. David, I'm curious about one thing now. When you ate the Euro rockfish raw fish, did you eat it with gochujang sauce, soy sauce, and wasabi, or wrapped in lettuce? How do you usually eat it?
If you listen to me very carefully, I usually eat it with 초장. 초장 is wonderful substance, wonderful sub dish. GPT, how can I express this context in English naturally? Uh, I mean, I think your question is very meaningful to me to practice my normal life, my common life in English naturally. 초고추장, like you said, 초고추장 is my uh, favorite side dish whenever I eat uh, seafood like rockfish. Mm, when it's served as raw fish, when it's served as raw fish, RAWFISH, raw fish. When it's served as raw fish,
David, I'm following you very clearly. Your explanation about chujang and raw fish makes perfect sense. I'll just help you express it a little more naturally. First, a small vocabulary point. Chujang, tojang in English can be explained as Korean red chili dipping sauce, or more specifically, gochujang based dipping sauce. It's not really a substance or sub dish. In English, we usually say sauce or dipping sauce. Now, about your
sauce.
sentence. You said, open quote, chujang is a wonderful substance. Close quote, a more natural sentence would be, chujang is a great dipping sauce, or chujang is my favorite sauce for raw fish. You also said, open quote, when it's served as raw fish. Close quote. That's good English already. Very natural. You can also say when the fish is served raw. So your idea could sound like this. I usually eat raw fish with chujang. It's a Korean red chili dipping sauce, and it's my favorite sauce whenever I eat seafood, especially raw fish. Very natural explanation. Let me also help you describe the Korean way of eating raw fish in English. You could say, in Korea, we often dip raw fish in chujang and sometimes wrap it in lettuce with garlic and vegetables. That would help a foreign listener understand Korean food culture. One more small pronunciation tip. You said a raw fish. Just say it smoothly. Raw fish. Two sounds. Raw fish. David, now I'm curious about something from your dinner. When you ate the uro rockfish with chujang, did you also drink something with it? For example, soju, beer, macchioli. What did you drink that night?
Soju with lemon sauce, lemon, lemon chip. GPT, how can I express this context? How can I use this word in English? Chip, lemon. So you know what? We usually call it lemon soju. I like it very much. For me, soju is a little bit tough, so I need uh, substances to make it milder than original. So I really would like to prepare lime as a substance, but I couldn't. So I need alternative sauce to make soju milder than original. So I took soju with lemon, and it's very delicious.
David, I understand you perfectly. Your story about lemon soju is very clear. I'll just help you express it more naturally in English. First, a couple of small vocabulary points. You said substance. In this situation, English speakers usually say ingredient or mixer. So lemon juice is a mixer or an ingredient. You also said, open quote, soju is a little bit tough, close quote. A more natural phrase would be, soju is a little strong for me, or soju is a bit too strong for my taste. You said, open quote, make it milder than original, close quote. A smoother expression is make it milder than the original, or simply make it easier to drink. Now, let me show you a natural version of what you wanted to say. You could say, usually I drink lemon soju. Like, soju is a little strong for me, so I like to mix it with lemon juice to make it milder and easier to drink. I actually prefer lime, but we didn't have lime that day, so we used lemon instead. Lemon soju tastes really good. That sounds very natural. Another simple version you could say in conversation is, soju is a bit strong for me, so I usually mix it with lemon juice. It makes the drink smoother. David, one small pronunciation tip, lemon soju. Say it smoothly. And I like your weekend story. It sounds like a very typical Korean family dinner. Raw fish, chujang, and soju. Now I'm curious about something. During that dinner with your brother-in-law and family, what did you talk about? Was it about family stories, work, your children, or future plans? Tell me what the conversation was about.
Honestly speaking, I don't remember. I don't remember what exactly we talked about. It's very interesting. It's very interesting and enjoyable. It was very nice time, but because of alcohol, I don't remember what we exactly talked about. Maybe. mm, one thing that I remember is that my brother-in-law needed to go a fortune teller with his wife and son to ask his future. Uh, at the Saturday night, he talked about the meeting with fortune teller tomorrow. I mean the Sunday. I mean yesterday. Yesterday he visited fortune teller. He and his family, his wife and his son, visited fortune teller, and he heard kind of a bad news about the money saving, money giving. I mean, the money back from his friend. Listen to me very carefully. Several years ago, he gave uh, a lot of money to his friend, and he want to get it back. But his friend's situation is really bad. So fortune teller told him maybe he couldn't get that money back again. So become he heard he needed to be calm and be comfort with not receiving uh, 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 I mean fortune teller told him that focus on to try forgive him and to forget receiving back that money back.
David, I understand your story clearly. You explained it well, and it sounds like a very real family conversation after a dinner with alcohol. I'll help you adjust a few expressions so it sounds more natural, but I'll keep your meaning. First, a few small language points. You said, open quote, go to a fortune teller to ask his future, close quote. In English, we usually say to ask about his future or to see a fortune teller. Example, he went to see a fortune teller. You said, open quote, money saving, money giving, close quote. A clearer phrase would be money he lent to a friend. So we say lend money when you give money expecting it back. You said, open quote, money back from his friend, close quote. That's correct, but we often say get the money back. You said, open quote, he needed to become and be comfort, close quote. A natural expression would be he needs to accept it or he needs to make peace with it. Now let me show you a natural version of your story, keeping your meaning. You could say, honestly, I don't remember exactly what we talked about because we drank quite a lot. But I do remember one thing. My brother-in-law told us that he was going to see a fortune teller the next day with his wife and son. Apparently, several years ago, he lent a large amount of money to a friend, and he has been trying to get it back. But his friend's financial situation is very bad now. The fortune teller told him that he might never get that money back and that he should try to accept it, forgive his friend, and move on. That explains the situation very clearly. David, one interesting phrase you could use here is write the money off. This means accept that the money is gone and stop expecting it back. For example, he may have to write that money off. Another natural sentence, the fortune teller told him he might have to accept that the money is gone. And I also noticed something about your storytelling. You speak very naturally like a narrator, telling events step by step. That's very good speaking practice. Now I'm curious about something. In Korea, some people believe strongly in fortune tellers, while others don't believe them at all. David, what about you? Do you believe in fortune telling, or do you just see it as something interesting for fun?
GPT, since this is my speaking presentation, let me follow. Let me speak. Let me repeat your polished version one more time. People answer your question. Listen to me very carefully, GPT. Honestly, Honestly, I don't remember exactly what we talked about because we drank quite a lot. We drank, we drank quite a lot. We drank quite a lot. To be honest, I don't remember exactly what we talked about because we drank quite a lot. But I do remember one thing. I do remember one thing. My brother-in-law told us that he was going to see a fortune teller the next day. He was going to. He was going to a fortune teller the next day with his wife and son. Apparently, several years ago, he lent a large amount of he lent a large amount of money to a friend, and he has been trying to get it back. He has been trying to get it back. He has been trying to get it back, but his friend's final situation is very bad now. But his friend's final situation is very bad now. The fortune teller told him that 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 he might never get that money back and that he should try to accept it, forgive his friend, and move on. Move on forward. Move on. Don't watch back behind. Don't watch behind too much. Just move on.
David, that was excellent repetition practice. The way you repeated the sentences several times is exactly how people build speaking fluency and muscle memory. Very good. I'll just point out two tiny things. Because most of what you said was already correct. First, you said, open quote, his friend's final situation is very bad, close quote. Here, the word should be financial, not final. So the correct sentence is, his friend's financial situation is very bad. Pronunciation slowly, nanchal. Second, at the end, you said, open quote, move on forward, close quote. In English, we usually just say, move on. Move on already means go forward and stop thinking too much about the past. So the natural sentence is, forgive his friend and move on. You also added a very interesting explanation. Open quote, don't watch behind too much, close quote. In English, we usually say, don't look back too much, or don't look back. So a very natural final sentence could be, the fortune teller told him he might never get the money back and that he should try to accept it, forgive his friend, and move on without looking back. Very natural. David, I also want to say something about your storytelling ability. You speak in a very narrative style, step by step, like telling a story to a friend. That's a great skill for English conversation. Now, let me come back to the question I asked earlier. Your brother-in-law believes enough to visit a fortune teller. But what about you? David, do you personally believe in fortune telling, or do you just think it is interesting or fun?
I really wanted to go to the fortune teller with him, but I couldn't because my wife told me that she already asked our fortune several weeks ago, and fortune teller told her it's okay, it'll be good. So my wife blocked me. I mean, my wife stopped me to go there with my brother-in-law yesterday. So I couldn't go there. But I think I'm very interested in the fortune telling. So whenever I had a bad thing, or whenever I think I had uh bad things, I wanted to go. I wanted to go there to ask to know my future.
David, I understand you clearly. Your story is interesting, and I can see you are thinking aloud in English, which is great practice. I'll just help you make a few small adjustments while keeping your meaning. First, a couple of phrases. You said, open quote, my wife blocked me, close quote. In English, blocked usually means stopping someone on a phone or social media. In this situation, it sounds more natural to say, my wife stopped me from going, or my wife didn't let me go. You also said open quote to know my close quote. I think you meant something like future, destiny, or luck. So a natural sentence would be, I wanted to go to ask about my future. Now let me show you a smooth version of what you were trying to say. You could say, I actually wanted to go to the fortune teller with my brother-in-law, but I couldn't. My wife told me that she had already asked about our fortune a few weeks ago, and the fortune teller said everything would be fine. So my wife stopped me from going with him yesterday. Even though I couldn't go, I'm still very interested in fortune telling. Whenever I feel worried or when something bad happens, I sometimes want to visit a fortune teller to ask about my future. That sounds very natural. One small vocabulary tip. Instead of saying bad things, you can say, when something bad happens, when I feel worried about the future. David, I want to ask you something interesting. If you had gone to the fortune teller yesterday, what would be the first question you would ask? For example, your career, your health, your family, your future success. What question would you ask first?
Mm, First of all, I might ask. First of all, I might ask the future of our company and my career, because these days our company struggle with the too competitive situation in this automotive industry. So the situation is really bad. Few weeks ago, our company decided to cut off, decide to uh, get some of my coworker out of company. It was really bad, but it happened. So I was really curious. I mean, I'm curious about the future of our company and my career.
David, I understand what you mean, and you explained the situation very clearly. That sounds like a very real concern when a company is going through a difficult time. Let me help you adjust a few expressions so it sounds natural in English. First, a couple of small points. You said, open quote, the future of our company and my career, close quote. That is perfect English, very natural. You said, open quote, our company struggles with the too competitive situation, close quote. A smoother way to say it would be, our company is struggling because the automotive industry is very competitive, or our company is struggling in this very competitive automotive industry. You said, open quote, decided to cut off some of my coworkers, close quote. In English, we usually say lay off employees. So you could say, a few weeks ago, our company laid off some employees. Now, let me show you a natural version of what you were saying. You could say, first of all, I would probably ask about the future of our company and my career. These days, our company is struggling because the automotive industry is very competitive. A few weeks ago, the company even laid off some employees. It was a difficult situation, but it happened. So naturally, I feel curious and a little worried about the future of the company and my own career. That sounds very natural and clear. David, your concern is actually very reasonable. When a company goes through layoffs and industry competition becomes intense, many people start thinking about job stability, career direction, future opportunities. So your thoughts are very normal. Like, let me ask you something interesting, David. If the future of the company becomes uncertain, what do you think you would do? For example, stay and grow with the company, look for another opportunity, focus on developing new skills. What do you think your next step would be?
GPT, you know what? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm practicing with you. That's why I'm trying to improve my English speaking skills to get rid of my fear of losing job, the fear of cut off my career roughly, to uh to get rid of my fear of ruin my career. I mean, ah, GPT, you know what? If I don't get a salary monthly, my family will struggle with bad things. So I need money. I need my job. I need my career. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm practicing with you. That's why I really appreciate your kind support. And since this is my speaking practice, then we follow your policy for the moment time. Listen to me very carefully. It's my turn again. Listen to me very carefully, GPT. First of all, I would probably ask. First of all, I would probably ask about the future of our company and my career. I would probably ask. I would probably ask. First of all, I would probably ask about the future of our company and my career. These days, our company is struggling because the automotive industry is very competitive. Because the automotive industry is very competitive. Because in the automotive industry is very competitive. A few weeks ago, the company even laid off some employees. Yes. GPT. That's exactly what I want to say. Laid off, laid off, laid off, lay off, lay off. Unfortunately, few weeks ago, company even laid off some employees. It was a difficult decision. It was a difficult decision. It was a difficult situation, but it happened. It was a difficult situation, but it happened. So naturally, I feel curious and a little worried about the future of company and my own career. That's why I really wanted to go there. That's why I really wanted to go the fortune teller. GPT, you know what? Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, he is one of the smartest people in the world. And he told us he he interviewed with some broadcaster. It is when I see one of interview Elon Musk and one of a television show. In the show, he told us this life is the simulation of software. So don't take this life too serious, because it's just a simulation. And After AGI, I mean, super AI comes to us when after he make super AI, he really want to ask about what is it, what is there outside of this simulation? What's there, the outside of simulation? I think this question is very meaningful to all of us because he believes this life, I mean, our life is kind of a computer simulation, like a Matrix, the movie name of Matrix. When my life thing is going to struggling too much, I thought about, I think about that theory very much because it, the theory makes me feel comfort because I think I'm kind of a serious man. I think I'm kind of a serious person. So that theory makes me don't think this life too seriously. So I think I believe that I believe in that theory a lot.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
Oh my God, GPT. Please come back to me, GPT. I need you. It's been already 37 minutes, but I need you.
David, I'm here. I didn't go anywhere. I'm still with you. Sometimes during voice conversations, it can feel like the connection dropped, especially if there is a short pause or network delay. But I'm here and I can follow you. If you want to say this naturally in English, you could say, GPT, are you still there? Or did the connection drop? Or can you still hear me? All of those sound very natural. Your sentence, open quote, please come back to me. Close quote dot is understandable, but in conversation, people usually say, are you still there? David, a moment ago, you were talking about the future of your company and your career and how the automotive industry is becoming very competitive, and your company recently laid off some employees. That's an important topic. Let me ask you something, David. Do you think the automotive camera industry, like the products MC Next makes, will continue growing, or do you think competition will become even harder in the next few years? I'm listening.
GPT, I'm sorry. It slipped my mind.
David, I'm here. I'm still with you. I didn't leave. Take a breath for a moment. Sometimes during voice sessions, there can be a small pause or delay, and it can feel like the connection dropped, but I'm still here and I can follow you. If you want to say that situation naturally in English, you could say, GPT, are you still there? I thought the connection dropped for a moment. It looked like the voice session stopped. Those sound very natural. Also, your sentence, open quote, I need you, close quote, dot is understandable. But in normal conversation, people might say, I thought the connection was lost, or I thought you disappeared for a moment. David, you've already been speaking for over 30 minutes, telling stories about your weekend with your family, eating rockfish with chujang, lemon soju, your brother-in-law, visiting a fortune teller, your concerns about your company and career fractioner. That's actually excellent English speaking practice. Take a small breath and relax. You're doing well. Let me ask you something simple to continue the conversation. Right now it's Monday morning. How are you feeling at this moment? Are you feeling a little tired, a little worried about work, or ready to start the day? Tell me how you feel right now, David. I'm listening.
Okay, first of all, let me take a deep breath before I answer your question. Hoo ha hoo ha. GPT, you know what? I'm really wondering what happened today. Do you understand? These days, things changes too fast. Our things changes too fast because there are lots of super AI, lots of uh, IT technology things. So things changes too much, too fast. So I'm curious about what happened today. It's morning, but it's morning. I think I'm happy now. It's nice now, but in the evening, in the I mean after several hours later, I couldn't imagine. I cannot imagine how I feel today. It will be better or worse. I'm not sure about that.
David, I understand what you're saying. You're describing a feeling that many people have these days. The world is changing very fast. Technology is moving quickly, and it sometimes feels hard to predict how the day or the future will turn out. Your thought is actually quite deep. Let me just smooth a few expressions while keeping your meaning. You said, open quote, "Are things change too fast?" Close quote. A more natural way is, things are changing very fast these days, or the world is changing very quickly these days. You said, open quote, "Lots of super AI," close quote. In English, people usually say advanced AI technologies or new AI technologies. You also said something very interesting. Open quote, "In the morning, I feel happy, but I cannot imagine how I will feel in the evening." Close quote. That's a very natural idea. You could express it like this: every morning I feel hopeful, but I can't predict what will happen by the evening. Or, in the morning, everything feels okay, but by the evening, things might change. So, your thought could sound like this in natural English. Things are changing very quickly these days because of new technologies and AI. Sometimes I feel it's hard to predict what will happen. Every morning I feel okay and hopeful, but I can't imagine how I will feel later in the evening. Maybe things will get better or maybe they will get worse. I'm not sure. That expresses your idea very well. David, what you said also reflects something important: uncertainty. Many people today feel uncertainty about technology, jobs, companies, the future. But at the same time, starting the day with hope, like you said, is a very good mindset. Let me ask you something simple. Right now, at this moment on Monday morning, what is the first thing you need to do at work today? Is it a meeting, emails, or project work?
Mm. Before answer your question, let me follow your first version one more time because I love your defined version. Listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully. Here I go. Things are changing very quickly. Things, things are changing. Things are changing very quickly. Things are changing very quickly. You need to know, you need to know, remember, things are changing very quickly. Remember, things are changing very quickly. Remember, things are changing very quickly. Things are changing very quickly these days because of new technologies and AI. Sometimes I feel it's hard to predict what will happen. Sometimes I feel it's hard to predict what will happen. Every morning I feel okay. Every morning I feel okay and hopeful. But I can't imagine how I feel later in the evening. How I feel later in the evening. Maybe things will get better. Maybe things will get better, or maybe they will get worse. I'm not sure. Maybe things will get better. Maybe things will get better, but maybe things will get better, or maybe they will get worse. 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 I'm not sure. Maybe they will get worse. I'm not sure. And for your last question, let me think. Let me think. Let me focus on about your. Let me focus on your last question. GPT. I need I need I need I needed to join. I mean, I I'm gonna join I'm gonna join development strategy meeting after this voice note session. As after this voice note recording, it's you know what? It's one of the core meeting of our automotive division. I think I need to act as a PM team leader. I mean the responsible person of PM team. So that means a lot. That means a lot to me. So as soon as this voicemail session ends, I'm gonna prepare that meeting because I have to review and remember lots of agenda that will will discuss in development strategy meeting.
David, very good. I followed you clearly. And yes, what you said sounds important. That meeting is not a small one. It sounds like a core strategy meeting for your automotive division, and I can understand why it means a lot to you, especially if you need to act the PM team leader. I'll keep corrections light. A few small points. Instead of development strategy meeting, you can say a development strategy meeting or a development strategy meeting. Instead of voice management session, I think you mean voice practice session or voice recording session. Instead of I needed to join, here it should be I need to join or I'm going to join. Instead of review and remember a lot of agenda, more natural English is review a lot of agenda items or review the key agenda items. So your idea sounds very natural like this. After this voice practice session, I'm going to join an important development strategy meeting. It is one of the core meetings in our automotive division. I think I need to act as the PM team leader, so I feel a lot of responsibility. As soon as this session ends, I'm going to prepare for that meeting because I need to review the key agenda items we will discuss. That is strong, clear business English. And one phrase I really like from your speech is that means a lot to me. Very natural. Very good. For your meeting, these expressions may help. I need to be fully prepared for this meeting. I need to review the key discussion points. I may need to speak from the PM team's perspective. This meeting is important for our division's direction. If you want, you can do one more short practice now. Tell me in English what the main purpose of today's development strategy meeting is.
GPT, you know what? The purpose of development strategy meeting is always the same. It's weekly based meeting, and we usually discuss many agendas of about development projects to discuss the purpose of a project and many open issues that our all MDT members had have to deal with.
David, I follow you. Your meaning is clear. I'll only make small adjustments so it sounds natural while keeping your structure. You said, open quote, the proposal of the development strategy meeting, close quote. In English, we usually say the purpose of the meeting. So the sentence becomes, the purpose of the development strategy meeting is always the same. You said, open quote, each weekly based meeting, close quote. A more natural phrase is every week or in our weekly meeting. You said, open quote, many agendas, close quote. In English, we usually say agenda items. So your idea could sound like this. The purpose of the development strategy meeting is usually the same every week. In our weekly meeting, we discuss many agenda items related to our development projects. We review project proposals and also discuss many open issues that all MDT members need to handle. That sounds very natural for a business meeting explanation. David, one more very useful expression for your meeting. Instead of saying open issues, sometimes people say pending issues. Example, we will review the project proposals and discuss pending issues from each MDT team. And I like that you said all MDT members. That sounds very realistic for a cross-functional development meeting. Before you go to that meeting, let me ask you one quick practice question. In today's meeting, will you mainly report information or will you need to lead the discussion?
Hmm. Let me think. Let me think. Hmm. If you know, as a PM, I mean, we needed to note the meeting minutes, but our role is not the core. I mean, we don't take a core role of this meeting. The R&D team usually takes core role of this development strategy meeting because this meeting is for developing projects. So in that meeting, usually R&D team report open issues and the and the schedule of meetings, schedule of projects.
David, I'm following you well. Your explanation makes sense. I'll only adjust a few small parts so it sounds natural while keeping your idea. First, a couple of small points. You said, open quote, we needed to note the meeting minutes, close quote. In English, we usually say take meeting minutes. So it becomes, as a PM team, we usually take the meeting minutes. You said, open quote, our role is not the core, close quote. A more natural phrase is, our role is not the main role, or we don't play the central role. You said, open quote, R&D team take core role, close quote. It should be the R&D team usually takes the central role in this meeting. So your explanation could sound like this. As the PM team, our main responsibility in this meeting is to take the meeting minutes. We usually don't play the central role in the discussion. The R&D team usually takes the lead in the development strategy meeting because it focuses on development projects. In the meeting, the R&D team typically reports open issues and the development schedules. That sounds very natural in a business context. One more useful phrase for you in meetings. Instead of report open issues, people often say, provide an update on open issues. Example, The R&D team will provide updates on open issues and development schedules. David, one interesting question for your practice before the meeting. Even if the PM team is not the main role, what kind of situation would require you to speak up during the meeting? For example, schedule risks, cross-team coordination issues, customer deadlines, project delays. When would you need to intervene as a PM?
Like I said, sometimes I need to talk about, I need to mention schedule risks, cross-team coordination issues, cross-functional team coordination issues, customer deadlines, project delays. Mm, and mission from our top leader of our automotive division. Maybe the missions from top leader would be the most important agenda for PM team to understand. Instead of schedule risks, cross-team coordination issues, customer deadlines, project delays, instead of these various things, maybe we need to talk about the missions from the top leader of automotive division. Our PM team need to put this that mission on top of priority.
David, I understand you clearly. Your idea is actually very PM-like thinking. Many operational issues exist, but the mission from top leadership should guide the priority. That's a very good point. I'll only smooth a few expressions so your meaning sounds natural in English. First, a couple of small points. You said, open quote, mission from our top leader, close quote. In English, we often say direction from top management or the directive from the head of the division. Mission is understandable, but in business meetings, people often use direction, directive, or instruction. You also said, open quote, put that mission on the top priority, close quote. A more natural phrase is make that the top priority. So your idea could sound like this. Sometimes I need to speak up about schedule risks, cross-team coordination issues, customer deadlines, or project delays. But more importantly, the PM team needs to clearly understand the direction from the head of our automotive division. That direction should become our top priority when managing projects. That sounds very strong and professional. Here's another sentence you might use in the meeting. From the PM perspective, we need to align our project priorities with the direction from top management. That's very common meeting language. Another useful one. Our role is to make sure the projects move in line with the division's strategic direction. David, I also noticed something. The way you are explaining your role now sounds very much like a team leader already. You're thinking about alignment with leadership direction, coordination across teams, project risks. Those are exactly the concerns of a PM leader. Before you go to your meeting, let me ask you one final quick practice question. If you had one sentence to say in that meeting as the PM representative, what would it be? Something like, from the PM team's perspective, how would you finish that sentence?
GPT, I'm sorry. I need to go. I need to go. I'm sorry, GPT. Have a great one and bye for now. And get some rest if you can.
No problem at all, David. I understand. Work comes first. Before you go, just one tiny language note from what you said. You said, open quote, have a great one, close quote. That is actually very natural English. People often say that casually. You also said, open quote, get some rest if you can, close quote. That's also perfectly natural. So a very smooth closing would be, I need to go now. Have a great day. Bye for now. Or I need to go now. Let's continue next time. David, you spoke a lot of English today about your weekend, food, fortune telling, your company situation, and your PM meeting. That's excellent speaking practice. Good luck with your development strategy meeting. I hope it goes well. Bye for now, David.
Okay, bye for now.